Great day, everyone. Hope you are here and excited just to see another day. God has been good, and we are so mighty grateful that this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Let me introduce myself. I am Dolores Williams, and I love making it happen. I want to just tell you a little bit about myself and what and where I'm from. So I'm Dolores Williams from Durham, North Carolina, the Bull City. Yes, the Bull City is where I was raised and went to school and went to church. I have three sisters, Evelina, Miranda, Victoria, and I have a beautiful niece named Michaela, strong and mighty and beautiful and smart. And my mother and father is Samuel Williams and Callie Williams. Awesome man and woman of God. And we were raised in the church. You did not go to the house and not go to church. All right. So we went to church and we love God. And the church that I went to was Greater Walltown in Durham, North Carolina, and the former pastor was Reverend C.E. Waddell and his wife, Sister Waddell. Lovely, lovely people. And so I was just raised, with just a lot of love. We never per se wanted anything, wanted for anything. God really provided, whether it was food, whether it was shelter, whether it was car. He provided, and I'm so excited. And so I can do the things that I do now because I know that God is my strength. He is my Jehovah Jireh. He is my provider. And so I'm so mighty grateful that He did what He did. I know Reverend Waddell used to teach us about education plus salvation equals success. And that what we stood on. And then of course the love is number one. Gotta have love in your heart and you gotta be real. And so that was all embedded with me, and I had a lovely family, and I am blessed. A lot of people don't have both, the mother and the father, and as well as siblings, and a niece to be a blessed with a family that number one love God. So I made the choice just to continue that journey, just to be with God, as well as to continue just to be the person that God has called me to be. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I make mistakes. You fall down and you get back up. But I'm so mighty, mighty grateful that God has not turned his back on us, and he continues to bless me and my family. We go through different things just like anybody else. And so I'm just so mighty grateful that He has allowed us the opportunity just to be here and then to show love as He has shown us love as well. I graduated from Central University. Now, I went to Central University for the first year because my dad had three and my mom had no two daughters already in college. And so I didn't want to go to Central. I wanted to go to Winston-Salem State University because I wanted to enjoy the college life. However, my father was looking at the financial part of it and was like, you going down the street to Central. Therefore, we don't have to pay tuition. You still get a college education, and you get, shelter, somewhere to stay. And so, even though he was right, I was upset. I was upset because I wanted to go to Central. Wanted to go to Winston-Salem State. And so, that was mom and dad. So you just had to follow that. So I went to Central for a year, and Central is a great school. Eagles in the house. Central's a great school. Went there, actually enjoyed myself. And then after a year, transferred to Winston-Salem State University, where I graduated. I am a health tech. I have a bachelor's in therapeutic recreation. I work with adults with disability as part time outside of doing my business. And so I'm grateful that the journey has been great. And then when I got to Winston-Salem State, I got the fourth scholarship at Central. Well, now I'm at Winston-Salem State, and I'm like, well, I'm not finna pay for college. That's not what I'm finna do. And my parents are not finna pay for college because y'all got some money. And so I was very determined. I was strong minded. And if I put something in my head to say I'm going to do, that's what's going to happen. And I was like that when I was little. And so I went up to the financial aid counselor and I said, I'm Dolores Williams, and I'm not paying for college, and y'all have some money, and y'all need to give me some money for this, college. And they kind of laughed it off. Okay, Dolores, we'll have the money for you. I said, okay, I'll be back tomorrow. I went back the next day and the next day, or I either called, and so they know my face and they know my name. And I'm not finna pay for college. So you finna pull up some resources from somewhere and fund my education. So a couple of days went by and I kept going up there. Hey Dolores, how you doing? I'm good. Y'all got my money today? Oh, y'all ain't got my money today? I'll be back tomorrow. And I did that continuously. Well, one day he came in and said, close the door. He closed the door with his computer. And then after that, y'all, he gave me money every semester. I don't know how he did it, and I don't know where the money came from, and I don't care. But what I do know is I graduated with no debt. What I do know is I paid maybe $700 within my college education, and I did not come out with any credit cards and loans to pay back, because after you graduate, how are you going to do all that plus try to find a job? That is a setup. When you go to college and they try to give you all these credit cards and loans and all that, y'all, it's a setup. There are resources out there if you do your part. Now, I went to school and I got good grades, so I did my part, and I expected them to pull up some resources from somewhere, and I was determined and I was a believer. And so I graduated with the Salem State University Rams, whoop, whoop, but with no debt. All right. And so I just want to share that little piece of information. You got to stay to your guns. You got to believe. You got to be faithful. You got to do your part. And I'm so excited to have graduated from Winston-Salem State University with no debt. That's major. That's major, because take all these years trying to pay all that money back. How are you going to live? And so I'm grateful to God that He allowed me the opportunity. And I've always prayed for wisdom to get through it, the wisdom to make it happen, wisdom for strategies. And so I am doing that now, actually, with what I'm doing as far as life and business. And it's a little bit more challenging now because I'm learning. Okay. And so that was the first part, kind of like the segment of my life. And so let's go into the next part. Okay. So let me share with you a little bit about a book that I wrote. I didn't even know that I could be an author. And so I believe God for things that I did. So I accomplished things with the help of the Lord, not by my own, but with doing my part, believing in God and putting my first foot forward and getting resources that I needed. All right. So then I wrote a book. I had so much in me. I just sat down and I was basically kind of guided to write a book, and it was called You Can Do It, Make It Happen, and Handle Your Business. Because I was like, a lot of people, things that I saw throughout my life, some things I did not like. I did not like when I saw parents using their kids' social security number for different things. That really made me upset. And so I've seen, a couple of things that I didn't like, but I can only be responsible for myself. And then I can only share with you what I know. So that's when I started writing a book and just started writing resources and information that I had so I can share with others as well. All right. So I talked about you need to take care of your responsibility. Get you some health insurance, get you some life insurance. That's just the basic. My parents has always been there for me if I needed them, but I didn't want to per se depend on them. Once I got 17, and they say once you are old enough to get out the house and do what you need to do, and you don't want to follow by these rules, then you go on out and do what you need to do. And so at 17, I asked God for wisdom, and I have not been back to the house yet. I've been on not on my own, but with the help of the Lord, just doing what I needed to do and taking responsibility for me. Get you some health insurance, get you some life insurance, take care of yourself. And my mom, as we grew up, she had her own goal too. So she raised us, my mom and my dad raised us, and she went back to school at 65 and graduated at 65 because she was determined. That was her goal. She made it happen. And then while I was in school, in college, My father has always been, I'm a daddy's girl. So my father has always been there too. He always made sure we had a car, make sure, we were well taken care of, food on the table, clothes on your back, and everything. And so when I was in college, he had two aneurysms. And I was a little upset because I'm like, he's such a good guy. He's a gentleman, if you know it's my dad. And so I didn't understand, God, why is this happening and what's going on? And so I was just, he had the aneurysm, and gracefully, he is still here. Thank God. He is still pressing his way. He might have some physical challenges, but he is still a gentleman. He will still open the door for you, whether he's got to struggle to get to the door to open it for you. He still has a heart to be that gentleman and that man of God that God has created for him. And so he is still here, and I'm grateful. Grateful. We are grateful that every day that he has just been blessed and he is still here. And so, I just, I'm grateful for my parents. So I never want to put anything on them. If I can take care of things myself, I will. Some things I don't even share with them because I'm older. I'm responsible. It's my responsibility to make some things happen, take care of bills, and take care of my house and take care of the car. Now he's blessed me with it. I gotta get the oil change. I gotta get the tires rotated. Just some basic things. Gotta put gas in the car, keep it going. And so, it's all about taking responsibility for yourself and for your actions, and not depending always on your parents. They are there to help, but don't, put them in a situation where they're struggling because they done taught you, hopefully, for some of us. And then you are should be in a position where either you can take care of yourself so you won't be a burden on your parents, and they can help you when they desire, not because they have to, but because they desire and they want to. Okay. And so mighty grateful, mighty grateful for that. So my mom, of course, graduated at 65. My dad had an aneurysms, and God is keeping him. And so at the age of 27, I stayed with my cousins for maybe, I don't know, a couple of years. And we split everything. And then I paid bills on time. So I didn't have a problem with that. And so somebody told me first about a first time home buyers. I didn't know anything about home. I didn't know anything about credit. I didn't know anything about FICA or any of that. So they shared some information with me. So I ended up going to a first time home buyers class. I went to that. Okay. And then I decided to just continue to get information. And so, long story short, at the age of 27, I got my first house built. It's 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. And I got a really good first time home buyers, credit, I guess you can say. And so everything was basically taken care of. I am still in that house today, take care of what I need to. I didn't even tell my parents about it. I just told them one day, it was July 4th, come up. I was in Greensboro at the time. Come up and meet me at Stephanie's. Y'all know about Stephanie's if you're in Greensboro. And I'll meet you there. They got there. I rolled down the window. I said, "Hey, y'all follow me," because they ain't want them asking me no questions, right? So I rolled up the window, and then I said, and then I drove them or rode, and they followed me to my house. And they didn't know it was my house. I got in, I opened the door, and I said, "Welcome to my house." And they was looking around like, "This ain't your house," because I didn't tell them anything. And now they was like, "This is not your house." And I was like, "Yeah, it is. Come on in. Let's have a cookout. Happy July 4th." And they were so proud of me. And that's what it's all about. Like, take care of your responsibilities, and God will continue to bless you. And so I've been here for 12 years, thank God. And my next goal is to pay the house off. All right. Like that's my next big desire, is to pay the house off. In between that, during college, I started my business because people always ask me, "Who do you do? What do you do?" And who do you know that does this, and who do you know that does that? So that turned into Divine Connections Magazine, because if one person needs that information, at least 10 other people need that information. And so I'm so excited that I started my business with Divine Connections. And if you've seen Divine Connections, that's how it started. So I have a magazine that comes out on a quarterly basis with different entrepreneurs, pastors, moms, praise dance, positive things going on in the community. That's what I grew up in. I grew up going to quartet programs. My grandmother had a group. My aunt Thelma has a group. And my mom's always been in church singing, and I sung in several groups. And so I just put that whole thing together, networking and worshiping. And then I have an event once a year that I bring in choirs and praise dance and moms and vendors, and we network and worship together. It's a journey of life, and I'm so excited. And when I got my, let me go back a little bit. When I got my house, I did that with the help of the Lord. I ain't say I need no man. I ain't say I need his money and all of that. At 27, I was single and I made it happen. I believe God. I put the work in and I made it happen. Now, what's next in life? I don't know. I'm excited about what's next, but I'm glad that God has brought me to this point. So I graduated with no debt. I got my first house at 27, built from ground up. Took them 6 months. I wrote a book called You Can Do It, Make It Happen, and Handle Your Business. And now I have Divine Connection. So not only do I do my quarterly magazine, I do events. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. And I'm so excited. And I just want to encourage you to make it happen as well. You have some great things that's inside of you, some skills and some abilities that God has gifted you with that you can put together, not only to be a blessing to yourself and your family, but to others and in the community. So I just want to encourage you, women of God, men of God, young individuals, to focus on God, ask for wisdom, do your part, do your part, do what you need to do, pay your bills on time, stay on the straight and narrow as much as you can. If you fall down, ask God forgive you and get back up and keep it moving. God has so much in store for you. And so I just wanted to share that information. I know this is going to be a part of a women's conference. So I just want you to know that I have done some great things with the help of the Lord, not by myself. And you can too. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you stay connected with the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. You all have a phenomenal day. All right. God bless.